problems are right now, and just go there. I would really think outside the box with Shohei, because I think he's the type of guy. If you addressed anything with him for the betterment of the team, he would go for it. And but he's got to be traded. Whoever gets him, that's the X factor. That could fix the Yankees, of course. It could fix anyone. The blister's a little concerning. Cracked, you get the cracked thing, and Dibs can address that much better than I can. But I think Ohtani is the X factor, and if the Angels did that, they might have a future. Because I think I told you way back when I was very concerned when I saw Trout lifting, making it hard.
Yeah. You said that.
Yeah.
You don't need to be lifting truck tires. You're Mike Trout. And again, all these guys do, even Judge. I had a conversation 2020, March of 2020, first week of that's when he had this thing with the fracture in his it's a thoracic kind of bone type thing. He dove the previous September in a 9-0 game against the Angels, and that's when he got hurt. But it took them almost a year to figure or the winter to figure out what was wrong. And we had a long conversation in front of. I still remember the conversation. I said, Judgy, stop. You don't need to dive anymore. You're 280 pounds. You don't need to run into any walls. And he did a good job of that for a couple of years, but I think he got so carried away with the Betts thing. And that's a serious injury. So I think what's happened in baseball, they've gotten so crazy with what they talk about that they don't talk about common sense stuff anymore. And I think the players are lost to a great degree. Ricky Horton, the old reliever, he said it best. He's still the Cardinals broadcaster. It's really good. But he said what he's seen, and he's not talking specifically about the Cardinals, but just baseball in general, and I agree 100% with this. He said the players now live in a silo, kind of like, a farm silo. They have their own. They have their own. They have their iPad. They have their own hitting coach. They talk to their own analytical guys, and because they're not in a team clubhouse atmosphere that Dibs was in, they don't get the kind of feedback that they used to get. Now, I do see some teams changing there. I see the Phillies changing. And even the last 5 games, I've seen the Mets changing. One of my big complaints was the Mets was Francisco Lindor hitting .212, swinging from his butt every time as if he's hitting a home run. You know what he's hit the last 5 games? Something like 368, because he's starting to hit the ball around the field. Just play baseball, fellas. That's what I'm saying. And I understand from people I've talked to, and Buck, we all know Buck. Buck's a baseball guy. There's not the amount of baseball information they're allowing through the Mets that has to go through the analytical guys is getting distilled, and it's not proper. So, but I think the players are at a situation now, since they told Tommy Pham he can't play, and he's been on fire since they told him that basically they're kind of ignoring the analytic guys and trying to play baseball. So that's where we're at with the game.
Check out Kevin Kernan's stuff on ball9.com. He's light years ahead of the regular media that kisses up to the people in Major League Baseball. You're far and away ahead of everybody. I love this guy. I mean, we talk Shohei, we talk Aaron Judge, all of that stuff all day. Ronald Acuna Jr., 25. Oh. And he uses the rules to his advantage, and so do the Reds, so do the Rays. They have over 100 stolen bases as teams. This kid has done something that no one is even noticing how amazing he is. 21 home runs, 54 driven in, 41 stolen bases. He's hitting nearly 350. He's got a 414 on base percentage. Plays great defense. Why don't we promote kids like this anymore?
That's a great question, and actually, I had happened to write those numbers down because it hit me. They got 8 All-Stars, and then there's Freeman and there's Swanson.
But he should be at a different. Like Bob Feller used to say about the Hall of Fame, there's different levels. He's a step above these All-Stars. This kid's an amazing player. He's
an amazing player. Seems to be an amazing teammate. He should be the guy they're promoting in baseball. Agree 100%. But don't forget, I mean, I'm not getting political here, but they took the All-Star game out of Atlanta a few years ago. That would have been a nice promotion for him.
Absolutely. You're right.
So
that got political.
Again, they don't think about. And what do guys like you and I and all baseball fan Ben? What do we all love? We love watching players like Acuna. Yeah. It's like De La Cruz now. He's been a godsend to the And Sean Pender, by the way, I'm going to give him a plug. He's the farm director of the Reds. He's done a phenomenal job with these guys. Because I like to give credit to where credit is due, not to some nerdy GM who takes credit easily. So So, but what De La Cruz is, to me, he's kind of like an Acuna type player in that he can do it all. And how about the fact that he turned down the home run derby, which is great.
He said he didn't earn it. Yep.
Yeah, he didn't earn it. And you know what? Acuna, instead, they promote guys like Fernando Tatis Jr., who did the MLB The Show a few years ago, where if you didn't like it too bad, the game is changing. No, I don't want to hear that. And you know what, Tatis? You shouldn't be in the All-Star game. Don't get yourself suspended. Then maybe if all the people saying he should be in the All-Star game, that tires me out as well. So that's why I stand with that. But Acuna is the kind of kid. And again, I knew people in their development system, that were in their system for years. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't with the Braves anymore. But they brought all those kids up, Albies, and they were great kids, great baseball players. And Acuna should be the face of baseball, yes.
Hopefully we'll see him a lot over the weekend. A lot of people are stepping out. We see some more just on the IL list today, yesterday, and Dibbs was warning us you're going to see probably more guys before Monday or Tuesday. Monday we got the Home Run Derby. Tuesday's the All-Star Game. What are some things that we should be looking out for the All-Star Game, or maybe something you're interested in those 2 days to watch?
I just want to see. I'm going to make it simple. I want to see baseball back in the All-Star game. You know what? So I want to see those guys like Acuna do those things that we're talking about. You know what I want to see too? I want to see. I hate the rule. I said it from the beginning, but I understand what they're doing. I want to see a lot of stolen bases in this All-Star game. I want it to be the All-Star game like when I was in, 12 years old in the summer down the shore, walking to the boardwalk, passing every little cottage where I could watch the game going from one house to the next, where guys would steal bases, guys would hit and run. That's what I want to see in the All-Star game. I don't want to, I'm over the home run derby stuff. It's still a great event. So many people love it. And you know what? I'll get sucked into it, to be quite honest.
You'll watch it. Stop your belly aching. You'll watch it.
We all will.
I'm talking to my hat here. Yeah. I'm honest on myself too, so I'll get psyched. It's still I love. You do. You love the home run derby. I remember taking my kids to the home run derby in San Diego when they had the 3, and how fantastic it was back then. Alonso's going to win that again. He'll do some polar bear stuff. Most teams, I wouldn't want my guys in the home run derby, but I would want Alonso in the home run derby every year because he's the chocolate lab that's on that team that's running around all the time, getting a piece of wood or jumping in the ocean. So you need to have Alonso run around there, do his home run derby thing, take off his shirt, do a polar bear thing, and it's gonna relax him for the rest. So those are the things I'm looking forward to. But I want to see baseball in the All-Star game. I want to see stolen bases. That's what I want to see. And you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see somebody steal home.
Yeah. I would like to see that as well. All right, well, I'll leave it right there. We'll let you go because we want to bring you back next week or the week after and get into the second half of the season, KK.
Well, I can't go without one thing, Debs.
Go ahead.
You in Wrigley Field in Toronto, what was the greatest thing you saw in the All-Star, or your greatest experience?
The other team. Because back then, I mean, obviously we saw the A's in the World Series, but it was the first time I saw them take.
Anybody else? 1990, 91.
Yep. It was the first time I saw them up close taking batting practice. I've told this story many times. Some of our guys could hit it, out of the stadium. Those guys hit it across the street, KK, onto the rooftops.
They were unbelievable.
I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. It blew my mind. And it was Cecil, Juan Gonzalez. It was, Canseco and all that. I was like,
Canseco.
Oh my God, we got to face these guys.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God.
We got to pitch against these guys.
Exactly. And then up in Toronto it was the same thing.
Yeah, and I think it kind of your offense got wow. I think one game you only had 2 hits,
that was my game that I gave up the game-winning hit to Julio Franco. So, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
But one final point in the All-Star game, it's still a great event, but they really ruined it by, like you said, it's like seeing your Christmas presents before Christmas. That's what they've done to the All-Star game by allowing us to see all these interleague play stuff.
Well said. Love you, my man. Have a great weekend. Enjoy next week. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Take care.
Kevin Kernan, everybody. We got Who You Got coming up at 4 o'clock. First Dibs is next. Thank you so much for keeping us on the air. We'll be right back.